Hey everybody. So while the official stream is going to happen at 8:15, I thought I'd just come on and say hi. Don't want a lot of dead space. You guys are waiting for me. I got everything set up here, so I'm really excited to talk to you guys. A little bit of backstory on this for anybody watching now or later. Um, the Virtuoz. This is a new piece of magic hardware that's been released by Magie Factory, or is being released by Magie Factory. It's been released already, I believe, in Europe, but is still waiting for an American release. I think November 8th is the pre-order date, and then it should be shipping after November 8th. So, how do I have one? How do I have one already? Well, I was lucky enough to meet some of the people over at Magie Factory. I had told them about my YouTube channel and asked them if they might be interested in sending me one for review, and they said yeah, they would. And so that's that. So they sent me one out. So I got mine about I want to say two. No, I got it yesterday. Technically, I got it yesterday, um, but I got it early yesterday, and so I've been messing around with almost all day yesterday, and then all day today. And I have some thoughts on it, and that's what this live stream is about. Just talking about it, kind of dig into it, let you guys see it, and see what you get in the package. Talk about its functionality a little bit, and kind of really give it a first look. This isn't quite a review. I'm going to talk about all of the hardware and show you what you get in the box, and some of my experience in testing with it here. But there will be a more in-depth review about it once I've been able to perform with it. I haven't, thankfully, the last 2 days I've actually had off, which is amazing. In October, to have a day off, done 43 shows this month, and I've been crazy busy. But here in just a little bit, we'll pop it open and take a look at it. The full review will be probably November 3rd or November 4th, once I've had a chance to take it to some gigs and actually get it in real world testing. So, for the full review, if you want to see that later, you're going to want to subscribe to the channel. That's where you're going to see that is here. I'm probably the first channel on YouTube to have this device, to my knowledge, and we'll be one of the first ones to give it a full review after performing with it. Um, it's a beautiful piece of technology, and I really want to talk about it in quite a bit of depth tonight. So, I also got my wife lending me her phone here in a little bit, so that way I can show you some of the functionality, like on two phones, and show you what that looks like, including some routining. That'll kind of give you a better idea of how this device works and what it does. So, one thing else I want to talk about too, real quick, is I made a video a couple of days ago talking about this exact product, about the Virtuoz. And in that review, or in that video, I talked about um, the fact that Ellusionist is not doing a very good job explaining what this thing is. I think most people on Illusionist are looking at it, getting kind of confused and going, what is this? What does this do? Why is it $289 on pre? Or what even is it? I mean, they talk about it being a magnet detector, and they say it controls all your things and stuff, but that's not. What does that mean? How does that change how I perform magic? What is the thing? So when speaking with the folks over at Magie Factory, they said, "Yeah, we noticed that too," and we actually have a much more full-throated description of what this thing is on our website. So if you want to go check that out, and so I went over there and checked it out and got a full thing on it, and it's actually a much more involved thing than even I thought it was. I remember after seeing it be announced on Illusionist, I get all their emails and everything, and I'm always up to date on what's going on in Illusionist. I immediately saw it, and then I called Shamir Salim and I said, Shamir, have you seen this thing? And he's like, no, what is it? And I said, I think it's this. And so him and I like ran through the video together, like looking at all of the different pieces and the parts of information in the trailer that kind of maybe hinted to what it did, and had some theories about it, and I was right. And it's actually something that I had talked with him about previously, about something that I thought was missing from the Magic community, and that we probably needed to have. So, I've been talking with him. I'm going to continue to talk with him about it. I think he's getting one too, and we'll see. Maybe there's something that can be done with Shamir's apps and this device. That'd be cool. I'm going to talk more about that during the video, during the full review. In a moment too, I'm gonna have to go collect my my wife's phone so I can kind of do the review here for you. I told her 8:15, so that's about when we're gonna get a hold of her phone. But you know what we can do for now is we can hop over, excuse me, and look at the device, or at least the box for it. Let's go hop over it. This is hand view, okay? And here it is. There it is. I have a light here, so everything looks just a little bit washed out. I'm sorry about that. That's about as good as I can get it. And I'm working on trying to make it look pretty. This box is seriously nice. Seriously nice. Very high quality. This feels like you're buying an Apple product. I mean, like just the packaging itself is incredible. You get that, you know, that slow drop out of the. Let me lift that camera up just a little bit. Get that slow drop of the thing, you know, the bottom part of the box popping out of there. You know, the nice pressure fit. Beautifully embossed box, very high quality, very thick cardboard. Got its foil stamped, it's embossed. Here's some of the stuff it talks about. Premium apps included. You get R Touch, R Light, and the Virtuoz app, which of course you'll need to make the whole thing work. And something else I'll mention here too is I made a mistake, and I have to fix that because I made a mistake talking about how it came with R Digit. I made a mistake and said that it came with R Digit. It works with R Digit, and it works beautifully with R Digit, but it does not come with R Digit. So if you already have it, rejoice. It'll work perfectly with this because it's part of that family of Magic apps, but you don't get that included. But you do get R Touch and R Light, and this one is This is a very interesting. R Touch is very interesting, and R Light, I can already see immediate applications for. And the Virtuoz app, you can actually download it free from the App Store, but if you open the app, it doesn't do anything. You have to pair it. It's hardware locked with an actual Virtuoz device, so you won't be able to go past the initial opening screen if you don't attach an actual Virtuoz device. If you don't pair one to your phone. So you get the Virtuoz gimmick. You get the battery that comes inside. It's a rechargeable lithium battery, but it's a button cell, so you can actually pop it out too if you want, and I'll show you that here on stream. Getting charging cable, you get a bracelet that allows you to wear the Virtuoz, and you actually get another thing too, which is you get the like the harness that holds the Virtuoz to the bracelet, and then you get 2 premium NFC tags, which actually that's you kind of get 3. Because you get a double-sided, and then you get a long-range one. So that's not even. There's even more to it than that. It's App Clip Center, which is very compelling, which I want to talk about in depth on this video. Bluetooth 5.0, which means it's got it's high efficiency, long range, and low latency, which is great. Magnet detection system, NFC tags included, and long battery life. And boy, howdy, does it have long battery life. Very long battery life. Let's go ahead and open this guy up. Okay. And you don't have to worry about getting like I don't have to flash any instructions or anything. I don't know how it works from Magie Factory. I assume whenever you buy it from either Ellusionist or Magie Factory, you will get emailed a link to the instructional video, which I've watched all of the instructional videos. We'll talk about that here in a minute too, but there's no QR code or link to go to on any of the box stuff, so I don't have to worry about doing anything there. This is the device itself. I mean, look at this packaging just for a second. Just look at this. Has got a custom foam cutout just for the device. The presentation is beautiful. They really want you to feel special when you buy this. They don't want you going, oh well, you know, it's in this, you know, chintzy plastic, whatever. This is the device. This part right here, the silver part, is aluminum. It's pretty solid. This big black thing here is actually the button. It's big old easy to press button through the pocket. It won't fire unless you want it to, but then whenever you want it to, you could probably hear that in the microphone. That's what it sounds like. Okay. It's not silent, but it's very quiet. And in fact, my NVIDIA card might be removing the noise. You may not even be able to hear the click. So that's the device itself. This is built to last. This is metal. That's very nice. Very nice. Very well built. Feels quality. Feels premium. There's the USB charging port right there. Okay. And then let's just go ahead and open that up for you. I think I just used my nails. There we go. Okay. And so you just have like this twisty coin bit here. You know, you could use a coin. I'm afraid to do that because this is plastic. And while it's very high quality, I don't want to mess it up by scratching it with a so there's the inside right there. Okay. See if I can get that. Does it for the camera. It tells you what kind of battery. It's printed on the circuit board. What kind of battery you need, so you don't have to like try to figure it out or guess or whatever. If you're in a rush and you have a dead battery or a battery that won't charge anymore, and you got a show and you need this, guess what? You can just go pick one up and you just throw it in there. That's great. I love that. It's a chunky battery, okay, and it's got some really good battery life. This lasts forever. I love that they did this too. Here's another thing that is a credit to Magie Factory here, because it's a removable battery. So many things are soldered in place now. The Peaksmith, as much as I love that thing, got a soldered in place battery. At some point I will have to replace it. That's like a $300 Peak device. Why? Why can't we just buy and replace the batteries ourselves and make them rechargeable like this? This is wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. I love this. They intend for you to have this for a very, very, very long time. And you'll be able to, because you just switch the battery out. All these things will work. This is built to last. I love this. I love this. This is designed with users in mind, with the consumer in mind, and trying to get them to have something that'll last a very good long time. Another nice touch is how the battery is centered inside the shell here. You see you have these little flanges that hold the battery where it's supposed to go. So you just set that in there. You set the device on top. And then everything gets centered in. And I know I'm going to be doing this on camera, which is always the fiddliest thing in the world. But there you go. Give it a little half twist. It's locked back in place. And that's not going anywhere. That's really nice. That's really nice. Also on the device itself, if you press and hold, turns it on. See the little light there that tells you that's in one mode. And if you press once, you just press it and you hold it down. And now you got the white light. So what the blue light tells you is that it's in app control mode. And then the white light tells you that it's in magnet detection mode. And I can tell you, you know, just from things that I know, like I know I keep bringing it to the camera has magnets in it, the base that holds the camera in place. There's magnets in it, and man, it knows it's there. It's telling me. I have a coin on the way. I should get that from Penguin Magic tomorrow. You can get the crease coins from, I think I saw a link somewhere on Ellusionist to get those from Ellusionist. I also know that Magie Factory carries them, and they're supposed to be like some of the highest quality, strongest magnetic force that you can get. And so that's pretty cool. But I wasn't sent one, and all of this came from France, and it was a great expense to get it here in time. And so I wasn't about to go ask for another coin, so I went and bought one. The coin I got was called a Power Coin. I got that from from PenguinMagic.com. It was like $40, and I paid like another $20 to make sure I got it here tomorrow, so I could test it when I'm performing over this weekend. So this is, I mean, you can see in my hand, it's tiny. It's tiny. I'm trying to describe. I don't know, it's like a stack of four $half tall maybe. Okay. And palmability, I have about average size male hands. Okay. And you can see if you want to just have it in your hand, it's completely concealed. I'm not struggling to keep that in there, and that's great for like witch hand effects. Um, you can put it in your pocket. There's a wrist strap, which I'll show you here in a minute. But this is just a very, very cool thing. Very cool thing. And I love that they designed it to be used for a long time. It's not a piece of, throwaway garbage that they're planning obsolescence into it. You're gonna have to buy another one in 2 years whenever they come out with a new updated one. I hate that. I hate that part of culture where everything's just so disposable now. But I love how they built this. That gives me a lot of confidence. Just looking at that shows you they care. They care, and they put the extra work in to make it this way. I'm sure it's way easier to throw something there, glue it in, and whatever, and be done. But they took the time to design this in a way that has us in mind. So I really like that. Let's go ahead and click back down here. I'm going to come back over to see my Coca-Cola in the video. All right. I'm going to show you what else is in the box. You have this little foam insert here, which I think that's really nice. I'm going to keep this box just because I really think it's beautiful. And then you get this little insert here, which has got some goodies in it. And then the box, right? Solid cardboard construction. Made in France. There it is. Okay. So let's take a look at what's inside, what you get in the box. You get a couple of things here. First thing you get, this big guy. This is a huge, huge NFC tag. It looks like it would fit on the back of a debit or credit card. Definitely a playing card. It reads from an inch and a half away. It's pretty impressive. So if you've been dealing with NFC chips and you have to like bring them right up to them, now with this guy you don't. I've just been putting this in my shirt pocket and triggering it from there and having a good old time. I'm just like, wow, where have you been all my life? So this is very nice. I like this. You can get these online, but I think this is like the longest distance non-powered, like passive NFC tag you can get. So that's awesome. Okay, now let's get into the other stuff. Oh, I want my light. And if you guys have any questions as I'm going through here, please, I want to hear from you. I want to be able to answer this stuff right now. That's the point of doing this as a live stream, is to answer your questions. Okay. Now, let's say you catch this live stream later and you didn't have a chance to ask the question live. Leave me a comment and we can go into it. We'll talk about it. So everything comes in a little bag there. This is the wrist strap that you can connect this guy to. And I want to talk about this a little bit, what I like and what I don't about this arrangement. And then I also want to talk about this guy, because this is their double-sided NFC chip, and it's a printed. It looks like it's a 3D printed bit here, and then it actually has. I'll show you just so for posterity's sake what actually is in here, because I'm about to super glue this sucker shut. But this is 3D printed, and oh well, it's a disc. It's a metal disc in there, and then there's a NFC chip. Like a sticker stuck on this side, and then there's a sticker stuck on that side, and the metal disc in between blocks the signal from the chip on the opposite side, so that way you effectively have a double-sided NFC chip, which is really cool. Now, I'm pretty sure this isn't supposed to happen. I think this was supposed to be sealed completely in place, like printed in place, but it did come apart on me. That's okay. That's not that big of a deal. I think some super glue around the edges, just press that shut, put that right back together. That was the only thing that I found. I was like, I don't think that was supposed to happen, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. The thing I do like about it is it's flesh colored, thumb tippy in its coloration, and it's grippy. It's got a texture to it. And it's about the size of a $50, so you have this really nice thing to finger palm. And I also like that they put a texture on this. They have the logo, their Magie Factory logo on one side and smooth on the other. So that way it's very easy to tell just by feel which side you're on, which I love that. It's just tactile. It's meant to be used and been thought about how it would be used. So I love that. That's really nice. I do need to super glue that back down though. I plan to use this. Okay. And then of course you get the little short, cute USB charging cable, which is nice. I think initially it wasn't supposed to be able to be charged off a battery bank. You had to plug it into like a little wall outlet or your computer. But I think they just put out an update yesterday. I think I saw Chris Torrent put up a update to the thing. So they're already putting software patches and updates and things before it's even out into the general public, and has fixed that. So I think you're able to use this with a battery bank now, which is good news because I carry battery banks, 2 of them, with me, and various charging cables with me in my case everywhere I perform. That way I know I'm always topped up. All right, let's talk about this bracelet a little bit. I'm going to take my watch off for this. Excuse me. So I I think there's some missed opportunities with this bracelet. I'm probably still going to use it, but the thing is, man, it's way too big and it's a chore. It's a chore to use. And here's the problem that I have with this thing. It's not intuitive how you attach this, which is kind of a problem. And then here it has those little cutouts on the side there. You can see that side, and that's supposed to be for the strap to go through. But here's the thing. I love that they did this too. They did think, oh well, we need to let people charge it, so there's a cutout there, so it can basically live in this thing if you want it to. Okay, you just push it down in there. It's a nice little fit. Okay, and then there it lives. It's a little bit recessed, which is nice. Cool. So there's that. And then whenever you put the strap in, you it's tough. One, it's tough. You're gonna rip up this thing. This is like a nice little like pleather sewn thing. There's a little stretchy to it, which is cool. Velcro closure. I don't know if they meant for this like to also like maybe go around. It's too short to go around your leg really, but then it's like built to like go around a bicep just barely. So it's a weird length. It's a very weird length. And here's the problem that I have with it. Feeding this thing in here, not so easy. Feeding it in there, it's pretty tough, actually. And not after you feed it in, okay, let's say we feed it in, okay. It'll, for a lot of people, a lot of performers, this will probably just live in this thing and you'll never have to worry about taking it out ever again until you want to change the battery. For me, I like to perform pretty dynamically, and sometimes I'll want it in a wrist thing. Sometimes I'll want to perform with my sleeves rolled up, and I'll do it a different way. Here's the thing. See, and I did it again. It's only furry on one side, and it feels like this is the way you should do it, right? Like you should put it in here, and then go through and do that. But the problem is that's not right. I don't think that's the right way to do that. I mean, maybe it is. But it feels like you're supposed to loop it over back on itself. Let me put this on so I can demonstrate what I'm talking about here. Maybe that's how it's supposed to go on, okay? It's comfortable enough, but I think that this thing is kind of weird and floppy. I think they meant for it to actually loop around the other way for you to have, like a more like a wristwatch style. But this part's fine. This part's fine. You can put that under a sleeve. You'll be able to do your witch hands, and touch your button or whatever if you need. It's no larger than a watch. Actually, no, you can't do it that way. Excuse me, you can't even do it that way because it wasn't actually gripping onto anything. So you do have to pull that out and flip it around the other way. Pulling this out is easy until you get to this sewn bit because the sewn bit sticks up. and so now you're having to feed that pleather through a gap that's really a little bit too small for it to want to come out. So you're going to end up tearing that part up, and you have to do this. My initial thought was, oh, well, I'll just lift up this guy and I'll push the Virtuoz out. But the wrist strap takes up way too much space, and then that thing's kind of friction fit in there. You have to remove the wrist strap to remove the Virtuoz, which I don't like that. I don't like that design. I mean, I would much rather maybe have something where it slides into place from one edge. You know, like this is permanently attached and then it clips into place. It slides and clips into place. It's a round shape, so you'd be able to do that. You'd be able to make a clip that just holds it in place and it goes, you know. And I think that would have been better because you have to remove this very annoying wrist strap that wants to stick to itself. It doesn't want to come out. You have to fight with it. In fact, I'm going to have to get this out of here because I have other things I need to show you, and I need that. But it's just jamming up there. It's just getting caught. And so, design-wise, with as much beautiful work as they've done on this thing, and how much I admire all of the little touches, this feels not as polished. This is a pain. That's a pain in the butt, and every time I pull it out, I feel like I'm breaking something. So, if I had a gripe, that would be one. Okay. I don't like the removal, and you actually really have to pull it all the way out. You can't just do it halfway because it's not want to come out. Boy, oh boy, yeah, I feel like I'm breaking something when I do this. There we go. My goodness, it's probably tearing all that up. So I don't like the wrist strap. I don't like the design of the wrist strap. A wrist strap is helpful. It's useful. You're gonna want one. I don't like how this one's designed. It's kind of frustrating. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna need therapy for doing that. Okay. So there's that. Okay. Now, I also have a list of. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna wait for my wife's phone here. I'm supposed to get it from her in a minute. I hope. But while we're doing that, I have a list of notes that I've made about it, and I want to talk about those too. If you guys, I see you guys. We have a couple viewers on. That's awesome. Hello, everybody. If you guys have any questions about this thing, please ask them. If I don't know the answer, I have a direct line to the Magie Factory, and I can ask for you. But I probably have some kind of an answer. Whether it's an intelligent one, that remains to be seen. Um, so the things I want to mention. What does this thing do? What does this thing even do? Um, this device does a lot. It does a lot. So paired with the software, the Virtuoso software, you now have an app library. So that means you can take any app or any URL, any app clip based magic. That's a lot of stuff, by the way. That's you know, um, it's Wikitest, that's Momentum, that's R Digit, that's R Light, that's all of the things that come with this. Um, Lots of stuff. In fact, I have a list here. If I can find my phone, that might be helpful, wouldn't it? Wonderful. Let's see where I put that thing. I'm gonna ping it. Yeah. It's in the other room. I'll be right back and go get it. Okay. Hold on. Give me just one sec. I'm back, and I also have my wife's phone. So cool. All right. So the Virtuoso software allows you to configure how the magnet detector works, how strong of vibrations you get. Here's another cool feature which I didn't realize, but you can actually, on the magnet detector, you can decide which device vibrates. It can be just the Virtuoz, or your phone, or both. Look, see, Virtuoz and phone, phone, Virtuoz. So you can choose between them. You can adjust vibration force. You can test the vibration to see how strong it is. You can change how it vibrates with one short, two short, one long, two long, or none. And so that way you can kind of control what it feels like whenever you're getting a vibration. So you know, okay, well that feels right to me. That would give me the indication I need, or that feels good. And then you also have those same settings, vibrations, not for phone, but how those vibrations come through and how powerful they are. And then you can test this by pinging it. It'll let you feel on the Virtuoz what it feels like. So I've got quite a few apps here. I've got Momentum, Wikitest, Earworm, Notarized, Inject, Virtuoz, of course, which you have to have, R Light, R Digit. There's also R Touched, Overlaid, Transpose, Spix, and Magic Joker also work with it. And those are the like first party applications which are built to do these things. And then here's another part I really like. You can control what's seen. So the app library, it allows you to use either with an app clip or by going to a website with a special URL, your own unique URL. You can open up an app library on the spectator's phone and then select which effect you'd like to perform. Why is this revolutionary? This is actually amazing. And here's why it's amazing. I have friends who straight up have pocket indexes for their NFC chips. They've got, a two-sided, alternating stacked staircase with all of their different Magic apps, and they're having to feel in their pocket to try to grab the. What the heck? I thought the idea of going digital was to remove like all of this physical clutter stuff. So that's what this does. This app allows you to, and I'll just show it to you. I'm going to open up my wife's phone here. All right. Not on stream. Nobody needs to know that. But let's say you get into your spectator's phone, okay? You pair it. You get Virtuoz, okay? You open. And now it does a couple things. One, it makes sure that it's okay to pair with Bluetooth. So now you can control your spectator's phone with the Virtuoz device, the button. So if you have a effect that's triggered with a Bluetooth button, it now works. It's paired to the spectator's phone already, automatically whenever you do that. And so now you can control things. That's amazing. You see, also have the app library. So these are apps that I like to perform that I've loaded that I can just touch, and then it'll either trigger the app clip download or it'll redirect to a website or whatever. And then I even have a button down here which says delete, and then you can remove all the app clips. Boom, like that. They're gone. You're left completely clean. I'm gonna come down to the second camera so you can see that. But boy, oh boy, you just clean up your entire App Magic library and put it in one place. Made it easy to access so you can perform whatever effect you're wanting to perform, or several effects, and it's all on the spectator's phone with one NFC chip. That's amazing. That's wonderful. All right, Devin. Well, thanks. Thanks for coming to say hi. I'll see you later, bud. So condensing down your NFC chips to one NFC chip is fantastic. That's wonderful. Now all of your apps are accessible. It also does other stuff. It also allows you to chain effects together. So when you get to the conclusion of one effect, and let's just go into, let's just show you. Okay. So I'm going to open up a couple things here. So you have to have some of these apps you have to have running on your phone as well because they work with both phones. So I'm going to have to open up a couple of these things. And let's say, what else do I want to do? I'm just gonna put together a little thing here also. But well, I don't even need to open notarized really, do I? So let's just say that. Let's just say these two effects right here. Okay. So let's say I want to perform a routine. I've got it open on my phone. I'm going to pair my wife's phone here. It'd be easier if I had Face ID. It would just go. Okay. So let's go down to camera 2 so you can see what this looks like. Okay. So now this is my phone. Okay. This is my wife's phone. So this will just sit in my pocket somewhere, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I've got my Virtuoz out. And let's say I want to perform R light. Okay. I'll click on that. It'll allow me to install it. Allow. Just like you normally would, right? And then let's say I want to perform the contact effect. So I'm going to turn my wife's phone over like this. And what this Virtuoz is going to do is it's going to vibrate and let me know the timing so I know whenever the light's going to turn on or off. So I clicked it, starts the effect. I got to vibrate, which means this is about to go off. And then I'm going to wait a second. Then the next vibrate, I can touch it here. I'll get a vibrate to take my hand off of it, a vibrate to put my hand back on, and to remove again. Right? Cool. So that sounds great. That's R Light. That's just a simple application, demo application that allows you to perform. And you can control that lots of different ways. But here's the magic part right here. If we're back at the spectator's phone here after that, the conclusion of that effect. Okay? If I triple tap the screen, it's now loaded up the next effect in the routine that I want to perform. You have to preset this, but now it's going to install the next effect, which is our digit in this case. So be like, well, let's open up the, your device and I don't know, we need a number. Let's say, what, 8? Okay, we'll give that a couple of 8s. Okay. And if I take an 8 off of here, I can actually put it down over here. I could take another 8 off of here and put it down over here, right? Or you could do it yourself. Oh, whoops, we messed that up. Can I fix that? And all this is being controlled with the Virtuoz, right? In my pocket or my hand or wherever. And I don't ever have to touch a spectator's phone. I don't have to do any of that to trigger it. Nothing. I can do this, right? Or, oh, yeah, you're going to want to do that. Make that come back down. Cool. Now, here's nice because I'm going to get a... See, I got a vibration a second before it happened that this was triggered to send that over. So now I know. Right? Beautiful. Beautiful. So you just can chain these effects together, and it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful what you can do. You can just do all this beautiful stuff. And now, if I want to go to the next effect, I can do that now too. Okay? And then that allows me, this is notarized. It allows me to install notarized. Now, the thing is about this, okay, now I've got notarized open. That's great. The thing is, if you're going to do this and you have an effect that you want to perform, that you have to program the chain. So whenever you go into each of these applications, you're going to have to tell it what application it needs to pass off to next. Okay, so in the case of R Light, I said after R Light is finished, I want it to pass off to our digit, and then our digit I wanted it to pass off to one of my other apps, which in this case was notarized, right? And then it would pass off to that. But then you kind of have to stop. If you're not doing any of the Chris Torrent or Magie Factory or any of the effects I've just named, you have to stop with whatever the last effect is that doesn't have this integration. I like the pass off and automatic open feature, this chaining that happens, because it means you can just go from one effect and move right into another and right into another if you want to, or you can stop wherever you want. And I'm hoping that more app developers, I'm hoping, Kirstine, I'm hoping Shamir, I'm hoping just about everybody, Benjamin Budzak, all these people that make all these really great apps that I love are going to introduce the ability to do this handoff, to do this chaining thing, because that means you can just perform effect after effect after effect, and you just get a programmed thing, and then you can perform a full routine with one FC tag scan. You don't even have to open up the app library for that. You can actually just have a NFC chip just for our light, I think. I'm pretty sure. And then it would just run through the sequence and then just give you a prompt to load the next one whenever you want to load the next one. That's fantastic. This just tightens up and makes it possible to really perform a chain of phone effects one after another in a very clean, concise, and tight way that you've never been able to perform this way before. I can't tell you the ballet I've had to perform to try to get this app over to where this, and then this, and to that, and all that. The reason I like ending with notarized here, and I'll show you why. I'm going to pop back down over here. The reason I like ending with notarized at the moment is because it also has an app cleanup. Okay, so if you're worried about cleaning up the apps, you can also do that straight from notarized. And yeah, we'll have to close that out. So we'll have to close these out. But also the cool thing about this here is that these turn into eventually the App Store, which is really nice. So I'm going to say delete all app clips. Boom, done. Deleted everything you just installed. Delete it all. You're clean. You're clean right now. You can hand the phone back. It took a swipe and a button press, and boom, you're done. Everything's uninstalled in one fell swoop, and now you can hand the phone back to them, and they'll never be able to figure out how you did what you did. Right? There's no trace left behind. Um, I'm I I'm pretty impressed with what it can do right now. With what it can do right now, it's going to streamline and improve just about all of the app magic that I'm performing. Either being able to control it secretly and being able to get the timing perfect for effects. That's something that's actually put me off of performing R digit, was the timing to get the number to go across. But now I don't have to worry about the timing because I'm prompted right before it's about to happen. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful device. It's very well made. It's well thought out. I'm impressed with it. I'm really quite impressed with it. And I like that they give you the ability to build your own routines with R-Light. You have the ability to design whatever effect you want. Same with R-Touch. Those are cool apps you can't get anywhere else except tied to this. And I haven't played too much with R-Touch because it's just me, and I'm not going to be able to impress myself with the thing. But it's also an interesting app for doing, like Phantom Touch or whatever type effect. So I'm pretty this is a pretty compelling product. Now, let's talk about the price, because the price initially looks pretty high. It does. But I'm going to unpack this and why I think it's actually a value. Okay, as that you're actually getting a really big value out of this. If you consider buying, like let's say Lumen. Lumen is a app that's on the Ellusionist store, which is a great app. I've enjoyed it. I bought it. I used it. It's fun. That's $20, and fairly a $20 thing. The apps that you get included with this, you get R-Digit. Or I'm sorry, excuse me. You get R-Light, R-Touch, and then you get the Virtuoz app library, which allows you to do all of this stuff onto the spectator's phone and really simplify and condense everything down into one NFC chip. If you were to spend $40 or $50 for each of those apps, that would not be unheard of. That's actually pretty par for the course for what these apps allow you to do and how functional they are. So let's say $50 each for those three apps. That's $150. Okay. Remember the whole Virtuoz system is about $300. Okay. So half of that is just in the apps by themselves, the value in those. Then you also get the magnet detector that comes in this. And let me tell you something. I've played around with the espionage. That's the one I've played around with. I've also, for about a half a second, messed around with the flux. which is, I believe, a pro-mystic effect. So uh, here's the thing. I haven't been able to fully test this out because I don't have a coin yet. I have to wait till tomorrow to get it. Um, but I can tell you just in my testing here with just magnets I have around the house and kind of just seeing how well I can pick it up and how accurate it is and how far away I can get and all that kind of stuff. This is a very, very respectable magnet detector. They could have just sold it as that without all the other functionality and sold it for 300 bucks. There are people who do that, right? There are people out in the market who sell magnet detectors. Espionage by itself, which is one of the cheapest ones on the market, is about $150. And that's the cheapest one on the market. And while I don't personally own one, I've not heard the best things about their long-term usability. They tend to break down over time, I hear. And that's the cheapest one you can get, is about 150 bucks. So if you're just considering the software you get and a magnet, the lowest cost magnet detector you can get on the market that you can fit in your fingers like that, that's, you're already at 300 bucks. I'm going to tell you, the value you get out of the app clip library and the chaining feature far exceeds that. Far exceeds that $50 price tag. That's, you could spend $100, $150 on an app that would allow you to condense down and tighten up all of your NFC chips like that and do it so well. There have been attempts with various success in the past, but they do it extremely well. It's very easy to add your own app clip. They talk you through the whole thing. Beautiful. So, I mean, again, this is just a first look. I'm talking on for an hour about this, but my initial impressions are extremely high, extremely high. Again, I have not been paid to say anything for Magie Factory or anybody else. They did send this to me to review. I will say that again. They did send this to me to review, but I'm under no obligation to say anything. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, including on like PETA, which I like PETA, I like the guys over at PETA, and I use a lot of their products. I've got problems with them. You see, I've got problems with some of the design of the wrist strap, and I don't really love that so much. You know, and so I'll say what I think. Okay. My reputation with you guys is far more important to me than a couple of bucks in my pocket in the short term. I much rather just tell you the truth and let you know if it's worth your money or not. I think this is for professionals who use a lot of app magic and have a lot of apps and invested in that ecosystem already. You should pick it up. I think it's I think it's going to be the next most vital thing to own after Peaksmith, because while Peaksmith does a lot and it's really handy, really useful, and lets you do lots of stuff, you can't do all these triggering and all these effects and do the app library and do all of that. There's nothing else. There's nothing else like this on the market, and it does it so well. I'm really excited to test this in a couple of days, or starting tomorrow, and then kind of report back to you guys by, like, I think November 3rd, November 4th, kind of do a more in-depth review of my use of it. But initially, I'm very impressed. I'll talk really briefly, and then I have to go, about the instructional videos. The instructional videos are top-notch. They're broken down. I think you get 5 separate sections talking about what you get in the box, about the app and how to use it, the Virtuoz app and how to use it, R-Light, R-Digit, and the magnet detector, and how to use all of those things in very in-depth videos. English, of course, is not a first language, because all this is built and made in France and designed in France. So what they did is they did that. I think I've heard it in TikTok before, but like one of those voices that looks like, you know, it's reading text and it sounds like a TikTok voice. The whole instructional video, all 5 of them, are like spoken out in that voice, but it's expressive and it's engaging and you can understand it and it's clear. So that's a fine way to do it. I think they wanted to do that as opposed to trying to speak in English and making something that wasn't necessarily clear. So they did that version instead. I think it works pretty well. So everything's all the videos are broken down really by chapter. So in any of the 5 videos, if you want to get to any particular part of those 5 videos, they're broken up into chapters, so you can just very easily bounce around and get to the piece that you want to learn whatever piece you want to rehash or go over or whatever. I will say that there are there's a little bit of technical stuff that you're going to really need to pay attention to make sure that you get the most out of your device, because you're going to get confused, and then you're going to go up on the forum, which they have a Facebook forum, which I really love that too. That's great. But you're going to end up going on there and then asking a really stupid question that was probably covered in the video in depth, but you didn't watch it. And everybody else will know that you didn't because it's right there in the video. But it's not rocket surgery or brain science. It's something that you can learn. You just figure out the mechanics of it, why it works the way it does, and then live in that ecosystem and that way of thinking, and you'll be able to do a lot. The other great thing, it's going to be a product that's going to be developed over time. Things will be added, things will be taken away, things will be changed, modified, improved over time. This is meant to be something you own for a long time. And there's a double down commitment on the development of the software and the hardware to give you the very best experience you possibly can have. So I think that you're buying into you're investing in a tool that will serve you for a long time, for a very long time to come. And I'm very impressed. There's a couple things again I'd change. I think it's only a matter of time until we see people starting to 3D print their own, kind of like the Peaksmith, getting your little pocket peaks and your card boxes and all that stuff. So I think it's only a matter of time before we see a redesign of this being sold by somebody else, maybe even Magie Factory themselves. But I think we're going to see improved designs of this, and I hope we do sooner than later, because I'm not the biggest fan of this. Not a big fan of this. That's my first look at this, guys. Thank you for joining me either now or later. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be doing a whole test video on this, or a video after I've audience tested this. I'm going to be having another a follow up, probably November 3rd or November 4th. At least that's the plan at the moment. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something of value out of this. If you did, thumbs up is always appreciated. And leave your questions down below. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from you. Thank you guys. I'll see you really soon.